Motivation, group cohesion, role task, task and social behaviors, and team learning are the basic building blocks of successful team performance. This is what we are going to look at in Chapter 4. Team members working in a team may be motivated to work harder, but sometimes individual effort decreases when individuals work in a team. This phenomenon is called social loafing. Developing challenging tasks that require interdependent actions, improving reward systems, fostering team efficacy, and increasing commitment to the team can help reduce social loafing and motivate the team. Beyond motivating a team, successful performance depends on other factors. Group cohesion is the bond that ties the members together. Cohesive teams generally perform better, but cohesion can also cause performance problems. Like the roles in a play, people perform roles in a team. Poorly defined roles can lead to stress and inefficiency, while clear roles can help teams operate with less stress and more efficiently. Although task behaviors typically dominate in work teams, social behaviors are necessary to build relationships among team members. Teams sometimes suffer from a lack of activities aimed at building relationships among members. Teams need to adapt to changing situations and learn how to improve their performance. Learning requires setting aside a time to reflect on how the team is doing. One of the biggest motivation problems for teams is social loafing. This is the reduction of individual contributions and efforts when people work in groups rather than alone. Social loafing is related to several other group phenomena. People can become free riders who perform little in a team because they do not believe their individual efforts are important and they know they will receive their share of the team's reward regardless of their efforts. The sucker effect is when good performers slack off in teams because they do not want others to take advantage of them. This can lead to all team members reducing their contributions to the tasks. A variety of factors contribute to social loafing. If the tasks the team performs are just a collection of individual tasks, why does the team need to perform in a coordinated way? This reduces motivation because of the lack of a perceived need to work as a team. Individual performance can be hidden in the team's collective effort, leading members to reduce their effort because they are no longer concerned about what others think about their performance. Finally, team members might be unaware of how much effort others are putting into the task. As a result, they do not know whether they are doing their fair share. Ultimately, people tend to overestimate the extent of their contributions to the team. A team is more motivated when the task it performs is interesting, involving, and challenging. Probably the best description of how to create this type of task comes from the job characteristic model. A satisfying job creates three critical psychological states. They are experienced meaningfulness, responsibility for outcomes, and knowledge of results. A task is meaningful when it provides the opportunity to use a variety of skills to complete an entire piece of work from beginning to end and to affect others with its completion. Responsibility is experienced when given autonomy or the freedom to design, schedule, and carry out the tasks as desired. Knowledge of results come from feedback on the effectiveness of one's performance. However, a good team task is more than just a good individual task. A good team task requires task interdependence. This is that team members must work together to successfully complete their task. Task interdependence is an additional factor that can be added to the job characteristic model. It is a shift from individual responsibility to experienced team responsibility for outcomes. To be successful, team members must feel responsible for both their own work and the work of other team members. It is only when the team members experience both types of responsibility that they work in a cooperative way. To be successful, team members must feel responsible for both their own work and the work of other team members. Team goals and team reward systems encourage this dual sense of responsibility. For example, managerial teams often do not perform well because managers are more concerned about what happens in their respective departments than in the organization as a whole. One of the values of company-wide profit-sharing programs is to make organizational successes an important goal. When it is achieved, each member of the management team is rewarded. This encourages the managers to think about what is good for the organization rather than only what is good for their departments. A balance of individual and team-based rewards is necessary to encourage both a commitment to the team and an incentive for individual performance. Finding the right balance can be difficult for an organization. In addition, the performance evaluation system must fairly identify both team successes and an individual's contribution to that success. When individual contributions to the team are identifiable and linked to the reward system, motivation is increased. You need to know the difference between team efficacy and team potency. Teams evaluate their ability to succeed by examining their personal resources and their ability to work together. Team efficacy is the perception that the team is capable of performing well at a given task. Team potency is the perception that the team is capable of successfully performing across various tasks. Increasing a sense of team efficacy helps increase motivation. Teams with higher collective efficacy have higher levels of motivation to perform, greater staying power when they encounter difficulties and setbacks, and improved performance. Both team efficacy and team potency relate to team performance, especially when there are high levels of task interdependence. Team efficiency has a reciprocal relationship with team performance. In other words, successful performance increases team efficacy and vice versa. The more people value membership in the team, the more motivated they are to perform. The increased sense of commitment and attraction to a team is called group cohesion. Cohesive teams are less likely to experience social loafing. Group cohesiveness includes a commitment to the task that the team is performing. In a highly cohesive team, members like the task that the team is performing, enjoy working together on the task, have personal involvement in the task, and take pride in the team's performance. Highly cohesive teams have more commitment to their task and perform better. Because group cohesion has important effects on the other than motivation, a more complete discussion of it is presented next. People who are part of cohesive teams are more satisfied with their jobs than are members of non-cohesive teams. And group cohesion also helps reduce stress because members are more supportive of one another. Group cohesion has a generally positive effect on team performance. This is especially true for smaller teams. The relationship goes in both directions. Cohesion can help improve performance, and performance can help improve cohesion. When a team is successful in its task, its level of cohesiveness increases. However, when a team is not successful, members often blame each other for failure, which reduces group cohesion. Cohesiveness affects a team's social interactions, which can affect performance and decision making. Low levels of group cohesiveness limit a team's ability to work together. Because they know one another better, cohesive teams are better able to communicate and coordinate their actions. However, high levels of cohesiveness can impair a team's decision-making ability. Sometimes team members will agree to a decision not because they truly agree with it, but because they do not want to upset the team's relationships. An important aspect of group cohesion relates to conflict resolution and problem solving. A team with poor social relations will avoid dealing with problems until they disrupt the team's ability to perform the task or threaten the existence of the team. A team with good social relations is better able and equipped to handle problems when they arise. The team can do this because its more open communication allows team members to manage conflicts constructively. This is one reason it is important to develop group cohesion and group social relations early in the team's existence. Forming good social relations early means a team has a better ability to solve problems and manage conflict through the teamwork. Research on organizations has identified several factors that encourage cohesion in work teams. Team members in a cohesive group tend to have similar attitudes and personal goals. They have spent much more time together, which increases their opportunity to develop common interests and ideas. A team's isolation from others may help produce a sense of being special and different. A smaller team tends to be more cohesive than a larger team. Having strict requirements to join a team increases cohesion. Finally, when incentives are based on group rather than individual performance, the team becomes more cooperative and cohesive. Several approaches can be used to increase cohesion in work teams. Training in social interaction skills, such as effective listening and conflict management, can improve communication and cohesion. Training in task skills, such as goal setting and job skills, improves the team's ability to work successfully. Team success and reward for success improves cohesion. The team leader can enhance cohesion by promoting more interactions among team members, reducing status differences, ensuring that everyone is aware of one another's contributions, and creating a climate of pride in the team. For virtual teams that are located in different places and interact primarily via technology, social media may be a valuable technique for keeping the team together socially, especially for younger team members. Roles are one of the basic building blocks of successful team performance. A role is a set of behavior typical of people in certain social contexts. Roles within a team are similar to roles in a play as mentioned at the beginning of the chapter. They describe what people are supposed to do and how their parts relate to what others in the team are doing. Team members can negotiate the roles they want to play, and they have a certain amount of freedom in the performance of those roles. The roles people perform in a team may be a cause of stress, usually as a direct result of role ambiguity and role conflict. Because team roles often emerge without formal definitions, the responsibilities of these roles are often not defined well. A person fulfilling a role may not understand what other group members expect of him or her, thus creating uncertainty in the role performer and hostility from the other team members when the role is not performed as desired. Team members also occupy several roles at a time, which may involve conflicting demands. Inter-role conflict occurs when a person has several incompatible roles. For example, when a person is promoted, he or she often experiences conflict between being a manager and being a friend to former coworkers. Conflicts also may occur within a single role, and this is known as intra-role conflict. In a task force with team members from different areas of the organization, members may experience a conflict between roles that are good for the team and or roles that are good for the organizational areas. Role ambiguity and conflict have a negative impact on people in the organization. These role problems can create a higher level of stress, decrease satisfaction and morale, and increase job turnover. Role problems also decrease commitment to the organization and reduce involvement and participation in the team's interactions. To address role problems, a team may make explicit the roles in the team. The task that the group is performing may be prioritized so that team members can decide what to do when there are conflicts among tasks. Team meetings provide an example of how roles are useful for a team. Meetings operate more efficiently when major task roles are explicitly defined and team members are assigned to fulfill them. One of the main meeting roles is that of a leader or facilitator. The leader is responsible for structuring the team's interactions to ensure that the team completes its goals. The leader manages the structure of the meeting, but not its content. The primary activities of the leader are to, number one, develop the agenda to help structure team meetings. Number two, ensure that information is shared, understood, and processed by the team in a supportive and participative environment. And number three, remove internal problems that hinder the team's performance and operations. The recorder takes notes on key decisions and task assignments. In other words, who agreed to do what, and they write up the minutes from the meeting. The minutes focus on the main points rather than capturing the entire discussion. Good documentation of team actions is important. It makes information available for future use, provides a fixed point or reference, and provides documentation of the reasons behind decisions. Sometimes a recorder acts as the team scribe, noting comments of team members on a blackboard or flip chart during a discussion. After the discussion, the recorder notes any conclusions reached by the team. Some teams assign the role of scribe to another member or to the leader. Another role is team timekeeper. When the agenda is presented at the beginning of the meeting, teams may identify the time allotted for each item. The timekeeper reminds the team when it has used the time allotted for an agenda item. The team may continue on that topic, recognizing that doing so will extend the meeting longer than planned. Teams perform two basic types of behavior: task behaviors and social behaviors. Task behaviors focus on the team's goals and tasks, while social behaviors focus on the social and emotional needs of the team members and help maintain social relations among them. To function effectively, teams need both task and social behaviors. Task and social behaviors are used to support the members of the team and are important factors in team success. Task-related support includes both information sharing and behavioral assistance. Giving ideas and advice and explaining how to perform a task are examples of information sharing, while helping other team member with work tasks and providing supportive backup behaviors are types of behavioral assistance. Social support includes social recognition, such as expressing acceptance and encouraging a sense of belonging to a group, and encouragement, such as rewarding others and listening to their personal issues. The optimal balance between task and social behaviors depends on the characteristics of the task and the team. In task-oriented teams, task-oriented behaviors will dominate the team's interactions. A study of engineering teams found that more than 90% of a team's interactions were task-oriented. In general, effective work teams spend about 80% of their time working on tasks. The right mix of social and task behaviors also depends on the maturity level of the team. When teams are in the forming stage, they must engage in more social-oriented behaviors to develop the social relations of the group. Teams in the performing stage will be dominated by task-oriented behaviors. When a work team develops good social relations early in the project, the team is better able to handle the time pressure at the end because it has developed the working relationship it needs to complete the task. Figure 4.1 shows how task support and social support relate to team performance. Task support increases the collective efficacy of the team and improves coordination among team members. Social support increases group cohesion and helps motivate team members. Both of these factors interact to improve team performance. A team's transactive memory system is awareness of the knowledge possessed by the members of the team. It develops over time through interactions within a team and is specific to the team. A transactive memory system includes both the knowledge that particular team members possess and awareness of who knows what. It allows team members to understand who possesses specialized knowledge, how credible that knowledge is, and how to coordinate its use by the team. When team members are aware of the types of knowledge and expertise of the other members, they are better able to coordinate their activities and bring information together to solve problems and make decisions. This helps the team deal with problems, especially on complex and non-routine tasks where the coordination of team members' skills and knowledge is needed. Reflexivity is the process of taking time to reflect on a team's performance and to develop strategies to improve. Systematic reflection about a team's performance is a powerful tool for learning from experiences. Systematic reflection has three functions. It develops explanations of why the behaviors occurred. It verifies team members' perspectives about what occurred. And it helps receive feedback about the success or failures of actions. Reflection is valuable for both successful and failed experiences. It is important for teams to understand their problems and errors, but it also is important to understand what works by examining the team's correct actions. After action reviews, debriefings, and other types of formal team performance reflections started out as a military training approach, but their use has spread to other types of action teams, such as airline crews and surgical teams. These reflexivity actions help to motivate teams to learn, increase understanding about the performance, and lead to improvements in performance, team efficacy, and cohesion. Team learning requires teams to use feedback effectively. The best type of feedback about a team's performance includes both positive and negative information. Sometimes cohesive teams only discuss positive feedback in order to preserve group harmony. Team leaders may only give negative feedback because they believe that it is best to focus on improvement. One of the major complaints team members have about their leaders giving them feedback is the focus on negative feedback. However, when teams have both positive and negative feedback, they develop better team mental models about how to operate efficiently and effectively. The key to obtaining and using feedback is to create a safe environment where people are willing to raise questions and issues without fear of retaliation. Team members who feel safe are more willing to provide feedback and reflect on their performance in order to learn how to improve the team's operations. For example, surgical teams with a higher level of team safety had team leaders who were more inclusive. They helped minimize status difference among team members and encourage participation in discussions about how to improve. These teams learned more from each other, were more engaged in their work, and had superior performance than the teams with less psychological safety. Teams can use feedback in a variety of ways to promote learning. Action teams, like military teams, often use structured team debriefings as a way for members to process feedback about their performance. For most teams, reflecting on past performance is a more informal process that occurs after major points in a project or performance cycle, such as a midpoint review. This concludes Chapter 4. Please let me know if you have any questions.